this is quite an interesting paper and gives some very important conclusion. So this is about scaling laws for forgetting, that is catastrophic forgetting of large language models when fine-tuning these models on downstream dataset. So catastrophic forgetting, what they are saying is catastrophic forgetting depends primarily on fine-tuning loss. And forgetting is absolutely unavoidable by means of early stopping or tuning for fewer number of parameters with LoRa or PEFT. And before going any more in details, just understand two definitions that they are using quite a few times in this paper, which is forgetting loss and fine-tuning loss. So they define the forgetting loss as the cross-entropy loss between the fine-tuned model's predictions and the original pre-trained model's predictions on a representative evaluation dataset. And the evaluation dataset in this case is Wikitext 103. So the forgetting loss, in other words, means that they measure forgetting by how much the fine-tuned model's predictions diverge from what the original model would have predicted on the same data, assuming the original model's predictions represent the knowledge we don't want to forget. And then coming to the second concept, which is fine-tuning loss, and this is just defined in a normal standard way. So the fine-tuning loss is defined as the cross-entropy loss between the fine-tuned model's predictions and the ground truth next token in the fine-tuning dataset. So this is just a regular normal definition. And coming to the very basic concept of catastrophic forgetting. So the phenomena of neural network forgetting a previously learned task when trained on a new one continues to pose a key challenge in deep learning. And the problem was first brought to attention for early neural networks back in 1990s. And this work showed that when a neural network trained on a task was further trained to learn a new task, performance on the first task catastrophically degraded. This forgetting was given the name catastrophic forgetting. Forgetting has continued to pose a serious problem in the domain of task sequential learning or continual learning. And some of the approaches to mitigate forgetting can be broadly categorized into these, that is regularization method, then ensembling and parameter isolation methods, and also experience relay or rehearsal method. So this paper investigates the problem of catastrophic forgetting when fine-tuning pre-trained large language models with LoRa, that is low rank adapter, on downstream task, and concludes that forgetting increases as a shifted power law in the number of parameters fine-tuned and the number of update steps. So that means as you increase either of those, that is, you increase either the number of parameters fine-tuned or the number of update steps, forgetting gets worse and worse at an increasing rate, not just linearly. And the paper also identifies a strong inverse linear relationships between fine-tuning performance and the amount of forgetting. In other words, the better the model gets at the new fine-tuning task, the more of its original knowledge it tends to forget in a directly proportional way. And exactly that finding has been plotted in this graph right here. So fine-tuning performance versus forgetting. The horizontal axis here is a fine-tuning loss and the vertical axis is a forgetting loss. And again, forgetting loss is defined as the cross-entropy loss between the fine-tuned model's prediction and the original pre-trained model's prediction on a evaluation dataset. So here what they're saying is that on OpenOrca and News dataset, that is on the left is OpenOrca and the right one is News dataset, the inverse linear relationship between forgetting and fine-tuning is shown in black, while evaluations for fine-tuning runs with different number of parameters are scattered, plotted in color. So all these dots. So we obtain a strong fit with coefficients of determination of 9450 and 0.9736 for OpenOrca and News dataset respectively. This shows that, this is the most important part. This shows that forgetting depends primarily on fine-tuning loss and paints a pessimistic picture that if one uses conventional fine-tuning approaches to achieve a certain level of fine-tuning dataset performance, forgetting is unavoidable by means of early stopping or tuning a fewer number of parameters. So they say the main observation we reveal is that forgetting loss is well predicted by a linear function of fine-tuning loss largely invariant to parameter size. This would mean that the relationship between LF and PN is primarily through fine-tuning loss LFT. So LF here is the catastrophic forgetting loss and LFT is a fine-tuning loss. And the relationship is described mathematically right here. That is, LF of LFT is equal to CFT LFT plus SFFT. So we can also reason that from this that the higher forgetting loss of larger model is predominantly due to larger models being able to achieve better fine-tuning loss. And the paper also checked the effect on the safety behavior and reasoning capabilities of fine-tuned models and found that the safety behavior and reasoning capabilities both were measurably degraded due to forgetting, with the pre-trained model refusing 64% of harmful instruction prompts, while the fine-tuned model refused only 32 to 48% depending on the dataset.